For decades, the Royal Canadian Air Farce has rung in the new year with viewers across this country. This year, they're kicking celebrations off early with a special tonight. It will also be the last show for the iconic comedy troupe. After 46 years, it's saying farewell. Here is a look back at some of the moments that had Canadians laughing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Royal Canadian Air Farce.
We are members of the RCMP.
I have an election coming up, and I want to know the secrets of your success.
Well, really, Brian, there's no secret. I was honest with the people, and I addressed the issues.
Well, it's so crazy it just might work.
Son,
Dad?
call me Obi-Wan Pierre.
I doubt you could name all the member countries of the TPP.
Oh, really? Australia, Brunei, Canada, Chile, Japan, Malaysia, New Zealand, Peru, Singapore, United States, and Vietnam! Yeah!
Oh, you missed one.
Did I, Professor? First to go! Snap!
Quite a legacy. Joining me now, two members from the Royal Canadian Air Farce. Don Ferguson helped to found the troupe in 1973, and Craig Ferguson first appeared on the show in 2002. Craig Lozon. Oh, well, you were just calling yourselves brother and son.
Young enough to be. Yeah.
And so you were saying, actually, Craig, that you were how old when it first started?
When the radio started.
Yeah.
When it started on radio, I was 2 years old. And it sounded great.
Yeah, nobody knew you were two.
You grew up listening and watching, and it was your destiny. Don, I was loving how much you were enjoying those clips. The earlier ones, you called one of them an antique. What goes through your mind when you see that?
Well, exactly. They're antiques. I can't believe what you you look back and you think, oh my gosh, we did that. And you think, how many years ago was that? I can't even remember how it was so long ago. I don't know. The most fun was the more recent stuff for me. Was the series that we did, and then all our New Year specials. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's 46 years is a long time, especially when you consider it's something we started doing thinking we would only be doing it for maybe at most 2 or 3 years, and then we'd have to find some real work. And it turned into the real work.
Isn't that incredible? I was reading some interviews that you've done leading up to this last show tonight and saying we used to go week to week. Maybe they'll pick us up again, or maybe they'll pick us up for a year if we're really lucky. And look at you now.
Yeah, I know.
It's really quite something, even just in Canadian broadcast history, 46 years.
Oh yeah, no, there's not too much that's been that long.
Yeah, like you expect, maybe we'll get 6 episodes nowadays. Like people getting shows now are like, maybe we'll get 6.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get 12 for a second season. I mean, I haven't been on the show nearly as long, but I've still been doing it for 17 years, and that's crazy. Like that's unheard of as well. It's crazy.
So how are you both feeling as this end of an era arrives with the special tonight, Don?
Well, I mean, I'm okay right now. I think I'm going to be okay tonight. It is the end of an era, but it's been a while coming. You know, I've been waiting for this for 46 years. So one day it was going to end, and now that it's here, it's like, yeah, well, that's inevitable, and it's just inevitable. You know, and sooner we've done so well. Like our last year, I don't know what we'll do tonight, but we generally do about 1.5 to 2 million for our New Year's special, and so we're going out on top.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thrilled about that. I'd much sooner that than hang on until we're clinging by our fingernails and we have practically nobody watching. This is great. You know, it makes me very proud that we've always been able to be at the top of the ratings.
Craig, as you start to reflect now on your time with the program, what are some of the highlights for you that you'll take with you?
You know, there's been so many. I mean, getting to play the characters every week and creating stuff and getting asked to do impressions of, like, I was never really an impressionist before coming on the show, and I still don't really think of myself as one, but just the pressure of a weekly show where they're like, you're going to be playing Ben Mulrooney this week. Really? Oh, I better figure out what Ben Mulrooney does. And then the pressure of that and the excitement of that, but then really what for me it is that Air Farce is like a family, and the New Year's Eve specials were always like it's like going home for Christmas, you know. You'd go and you'd see all the people that you've been working with for all those years, and even the crew and the hair and makeup, like everybody was the same group. So it was, I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss Robbie and those guys. You know?
Miss the people.
Yeah.
Of course.
One thing I just thought of when you were talking is a highlight for me is when we went live for one season. Our 15th season, we did the show live to Atlantic, Canada. So we had a half hour to do the show. That was it. And I remember the one time you were playing a character and you had a mustache. And you were supposed to be had the flu.
Yeah, it was the norovirus.
Norovirus.
It was,
no.
Yeah, it was the bucket sketch. It became known as.
Yes, okay. So we had a little tube up here, and he would, every so often he would be sick, but of course it was comic sick.
Yeah.
But then his mustache came off.
Got all wet.
Came off his mustache. And we were live. You couldn't do anything about it. I was killing myself laughing at your discomfort.
Me too.
Yes, that's right. You stopped laughing too.
The audience loves it, though. You always, in those moments, you look for the cast members to break up a little bit. That's a lot of fun, actually, watching you try to keep a straight face.
Yeah.
So, Don, we talked about Ben Mulrooney, and you played the dad. We showed that clip of Brian Mulrooney. You just nailed that voice.
Yeah.
As you reflect, favorite characters for you?
Well, I'm a laugh hog, so the show always changes as the characters we're playing changes. I mean, when we no longer do Brian Mulrooney, we no longer do Pierre Trudeau. There's the characters I did, but I always loved doing the characters that were getting the most laughs. But I think in Canada, the prime ministers, the political leaders were the ones that everybody knew. So when you did them, you got the most response. But I loved doing Preston Manning was hilarious. I loved doing him. I loved doing Pierre Trudeau. I loved doing Brian Mulrooney. They were all fun to do because they all leave you with lots of material to laugh at.
And did you ever hear much feedback from them about how you were portraying
Never heard
them?
much, although I met them all, and I did hear. The one I think I had the most fun with on a personal level was always Preston Manning. Whoops. Well, this is how I'm hearing the show, by the way, and I promise not to eat this. Was Preston Manning because he was just such he was so relaxed, and he did what we told him. He paid attention to to our director. Who was
I played Stephen Harper the longest out of the prime ministers because it was Chrétien was just before him, and then it was him. I played him for like 10 years, and then I played Trudeau for a little while, and I never got audited. So I'm assuming he either didn't care or he didn't mind.
He flew under the radar. Well, talk about political satire and how has it changed over the years? When you reflect back, Don, to 1973, I know you've said things were a little more polite even with the humor back then.
Yeah, I mean, things got harsher now. But one of the things that I was always very happy with in Canada is we used to do when it came to TV anyway, we did our political satire in prime time. Thank you, CBC, for that. Americans always do it late at night. Even now, they do it like at 11:30 at night. They do a lot of it, a lot more than we do now. But they never showed it in prime time when most people are watching. One of the things I've always loved about, one of the constants, I guess, not a change, but a constant about CBC and about Canadian audiences, is they have an appetite for political satire, and it's been satisfied over the years by broadcasters. I think that's a real testament to CBC and to the audience.
We're almost out of time, but I want to ask you to look ahead to tonight. So, Craig, can you give us a hint of what we're going to see on the special?
Well, I get to play two exiteers. I'm playing Boris Johnson and Jason Kenney, so that'll be fun. You'll get to see what they're up to. And we shot it on separate days. It was so weird this year. We shot it on separate days, so I didn't even see the whole thing come together. So
you'll look forward to watching along with the rest of us
absolutely.
tonight. Okay,
right.
And Don?
Yeah, well, I'm with you. I was there both days, but I only really paid attention on the day I was actually doing stuff. I don't know. I'm just looking forward to seeing. I know at one point I get to say goodbye to the audience, and I'm looking forward to see how that looks. I mean, I know I did it a couple times because the first time I did it, I was too emotional. And the guy said, "No, you can't be that. You got to try it again a little quicker." So I did. But
still a comedy.
Yeah, it's still a comedy.
Well, I'm sure it'll be very interesting for the two of you watching tonight. I hope you'll have some champagne along with it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for reflecting on this remarkable broadcast legacy here at CBC. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.